Welcome back to As Told by Zink with your host, Samantha. I'm in studio with Jade Lily.
Hello.
Jade's Wild Party.
Every time.
I always feel so weird doing it because Lily's your middle name.
Lily's my middle name. I don't have my last name out there, and then everyone just calls me Jade's Wild Party instead.
I'm like, I feel like people probably call you by your handle.
For sure.
Hi, Jade's Wild Party.
No, for real. And people like will come up to me and say Jade's Wild Party. Like, no one really knows my full name.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a lot of like elusive creators.
Yeah.
I mean, because now people do their names, but do you remember the beginning of social media when it would be like cupcakes and cashmere?
It was basically like a Hotmail, like email username for Instagram everywhere. But now, honestly, I made the handle in middle school, and so I feel like it had to stick. It was so good in middle school that I just had it stick ever since.
You did not have Instagram in middle school.
I did.
Oh, I feel like a grandma right now.
I was posting like it was Tumblr. Like I was like out there with like the bracelets and doing the henna and like taking photos of it like it was Tumblr.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I got Instagram in college.
No way.
And so mine was just like these highly edited, saturated images in the bar. Like holding my beer in a college bar. Like,
Flash.
There was
Flash.
Yeah. And you remember like the filters? Yeah,
of course.
And then I would like filter my Facebook images there and like carry it over because...
Yes, I remember that. It was honestly a good time.
Do you still have your photos on there from middle school?
I actually do. If you really want to scroll, I think I've left a couple just because, and then I privated most of them, but I think I left a couple up that I was like, you know what? I really put a lot of effort into that. I full-fisted that one, so might as well leave it up.
Wait, I love it. That's too funny. But, okay, so I love people's backgrounds.
Yeah.
You are... I want to say, I can't tell if you're from LA or not.
I'm from Idaho, home of the potatoes.
No way. When did you move to LA?
I moved to LA 7 years ago. My parents have been separated my whole life, and so they grew up here actually, but long story, they wanted to raise a family in Idaho, but my dad moved back. And so my whole life, I just traveled back and forth between Idaho and LA, and then I knew I was going to live here, of course.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I always like to play the guessing game because I feel like we're all like transplants, which when I lived in New York City, we were all transplants.
Yeah.
And then I came here and everyone is transplant.
I know.
as well. And then I always like guess and everyone comes on here and they're like, oh, I'm from like the most random place ever. I'm like, oh my gosh, we all just like wanted to make something of ourselves and get out of the small town.
Were you born and raised in New York?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
But then I moved to the city after college.
Okay.
But like small town, like we had mall fashion.
But I think upstate New York is so beautiful. I mean, I'm not sure where you came from, but I love upstate New York.
Yes. You can appreciate it when you're older.
Yeah. 100%.
But when you're young, it was like, oh, should we go to the mall or should we go to the mall or... I mean, and then like people get so bored they picked up like heroin, problems.
That's exactly how
epidemic.
It was. No, that's exactly how it was. I grew up in Boise, so like we were in the capital of Idaho. Yeah. But like, it was the mall and like a roller skating rink.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then people were like, as we got older, people were like partying like in the middle of nowhere, like on a bonfire party, and then you wonder why people went down the wrong path.
Yeah, it was like there was like a fine line, and then they just like and I'm like, oh my god, and then you moved here, like somewhere like here, and you're like, that is not normal. It's because there's nothing to do. I mean, 100%. I can't really like give excuses, but okay, so you moved to LA. Yeah. You started, let's talk about your like social media journey.
Yeah.
because I always like to hear how people get started as well. I feel like LA is a great place to get started. I feel like it's like a stereotype where like just people are like, oh, if you're in LA, you're going to have a following. I've realized people get a following from places like Idaho.
Yeah, because they're bored and they want to like do something more, for sure. I moved to LA and I had no plan. I just knew my dad lived here and I wanted to come out here, so that was like the easiest way. And then I worked in a restaurant, and then I worked at Wild Fox Malibu, and I ended up being like an assistant manager there. And that's when I was like, I do like social media, like I like styling, and we had to merchandise the store all the time. And so I ended up getting like a internship at 12th Tribe, their showroom. And then I had to do their social media a little bit, but not anything too serious. And then after that, it made me apply for another internship at American Threads. And I was doing all their social media and content creation. And like, this is before people were like making content in-house and UGC content, but we were doing it. And then that turned into a job within 2 months. And then I stayed there for 2 years, went to By Rosie Jane. They're in Sephora. They're like a clean beauty brand. And I was basically like a marketing director there. I was like one of the only employees. So I had all my hands in all the pots, and I had got hired there in COVID. And so it was probably like a year in COVID, and I ended up just getting laid off, and I was like, I never want to go in an office again. And so I just was like, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own. I've created influencer programs. I've hired influencers for these brands. Like, I know how to do it. And I just started reaching out to people and getting free clothes and like taking photos and just having fun with it. And I had like, since I got laid off, I had like unemployment and severance. So I was like, I have time to figure it out. And my boyfriend was helping me, and probably 3 months after that, I got my first paid job, and the rest is history. It just has skyrocketed since.
Craziness.
Yeah.
You had like the coolest internships, by the way.
Yeah.
I feel like those are like dream internships.
I was lucky. Like, I didn't go to college, and I just was so persistent when I was like going into these places and applying. And I was just like, I mean, I had a lot of really bad interviews that I never got hired for, but yeah, I was so persistent in it. Like, I kept applying. It was like my day job to apply for things, and finally some things stuck.
Yeah, I remember like those days. I would be sending, like for my internship,
I'd
be sending so many emails out a day. I would like sometimes forget to like change the brand name out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, they're like, by the way, we're XYZ.
We're actually not that.
Yep.
I have one interview that I was so excited. It was for Amiri, and their office is downtown LA. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to nail this. I went into their office. It was so cool. We were like taking a tour, and I left. I thought it was good. I was in the parking lot. I pulled up the directions like on the way home. And the way the parking lot is like there's no way a car would be behind you. Like, the parking spaces are just going around the perimeter. So I had started my car, I'm looking at the directions, and silly me, I didn't like look in my rear view immediately as I was going to pull out, because when I had gotten in my car, no one was behind me.
Yeah.
And someone came and like parked perpendicular to my car right behind me, blocking me in, and I just didn't realize it. And so I pulled out. Thank God I wasn't pulling out fast. It was like really slow, and I tapped a car behind me, and I was like, who is parking behind? And my car was on, like the lights were on, everything was on. I get out of the car, and it's Mike Amiri himself, the owner of the company. And he was like so standoffish. He was just like, it's Elise, whatever. Like, I'll text you if anything happens. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting that job. And I never got a text from him, so I didn't have to pay for his car, and I never got a call back for that job. So I was
like, what's the worst thing that could happen in an interview situation?
Yeah. No, I call that character building, and now it's a really funny story looking back, for sure.
That is hilarious. I mean, at one time with an interview in New York City, my mom was driving me down from upstate, and there's bicyclists. Bicyclists. Why did that sound funny? Cyclists. I don't know. They're people delivering food, Uber Eats, and you have to like, I didn't know this, small town girl.
Yeah.
you have to look both ways before opening the door. She drops me off at the interview. I open the door, and this man in his bicycle flips over the door.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And my mom, it was new car.
Yeah.
He's maybe injured. I was like, listen, I need to go in. And I laugh when I'm nervous. So by the way, I'm just like cracking up. But
yeah.
It was.
You're like, I still went in. I was committed.
Yeah, I was. I was like, I can't be late. Like, Mom, I'm sorry. Deal with this. He was fine. He was swearing and like rode off. And yeah, it was just,
Mom, deal with it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That I had not thought about that in a long time.
Yeah, we have them.
And I always just smile when I'm nervous or something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like if you're yelling at me, I'm just going to like smile.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I do the same thing.
Oh my gosh. So, LA, you're like starting to, I want to like also hear about your LA life. So you're working in social media, like you're starting to work with brands, you're managing yourself in the beginning, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And like, what is your day-to-day with your like new LA lifestyle as an influencer? Like, what does this all look like?
I would say it was chaotic. Like, it was honestly what I would, since I didn't go to college, would assume is like a very post-college like lifestyle. I kind of didn't have a schedule, and I wasn't making a lot of money, and I had just met my boyfriend, so it was kind of just like I was having fun, and all my friends were kind of my boyfriends, and I was honestly just like taking it day by day. I really never had a crazy plan. I was always really confident in like my creativity, and obviously from those internships I was very confident that I could do this myself, but it wasn't happening that quickly. So I kind of just was like having fun, going to the beach, taking photos, and just outreaching, like hoping that something would come along. I just had to keep taking more photos, and that was kind of it. And my boyfriend and I had known each other probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years into our relationship was when I started doing influencing. So we were already living together. I had that structure from him, but other than that, I was just on my own.
And I mean, your content too, has it evolved?
For sure.
Were you dancing in the beginning?
No.
Or what were you?
My mom will even tell you, I am not even coordinated enough to do like a step clap, okay? So I was not dancing. No, when TikTok came about, I even remember I had a meeting at American Threads, and we're like, we're going to start posting on TikTok now. And at the time, like, McDonald's was the only one on TikTok, and they were like doing dances in the back. And I was like, you cannot be serious. And we ended up posting and creating that content and like styling for the brand. So when I went to post on TikTok, I was doing like little like mascara tutorials and like little styling that was so cringy. And then it kind of evolved into being cooler and less cringy. And like that purple filter on TikTok, you know, where it makes everything purple, or the sparkles. People were using the sparkles on TikTok a lot. I was doing things like that. So
I even look back at like Instagram because I have highlights and I'm like, what? I mean, I fell into the filter phase.
The presets that were so
where your
saturated.
lips are huge and your nose is so small.
Oh,
yeah,
that too.
I totally did all of those.
All of them. The preset, I was like orange. The background was like so, like all the yellow tones were taken out. It was so white and bright in the back, and I was orange, and all the blues were like teal. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just crazy times.
It's evolved.
Yeah. But I was taking a look at so I deal with social media all day, every day. So I want to keep this a short topic because it exhausts me a little bit, and I think we can talk about more exciting things. Yeah. But I was like, I actually started following you. You were on my Explore page for your under eye filler. Ooh. Which we'll talk about too. Ooh. But I went through obviously a deep dive like before this, and I'm a huge like critiquer because it's my job. You kill it on TikTok, and like this, I would share like if somebody was like, what should I do on TikTok? I would quite literally take yours and share it as an example.
Oh my God.
I think it's very authentic. You don't overthink it. You share insights into your life. Wow. It's interesting. Like you could fall into a black hole and stay interested?
Oh my gosh, I feel like sometimes I don't see it that way because the views are like so
crazy,
high highs and so low lows that I'm like, ugh, this is not working out for me when I see other people who are like consistently getting so many good views. But I love hearing that because I think TikTok is so fun. So I'll never stop doing it.
Do you feel like you're two different people on Instagram and TikTok?
I used to. Now I think I'm making Instagram a little bit more casual again. Yeah. Just because it's exhausting trying to do two different types of content. And I always love making pretty aesthetic content for Instagram, but I think I do that just a little bit less and bring my TikTok content over onto Instagram, so I don't have to be like overworking when I'm making so much content.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And just quickly, if somebody's trying to blow up on TikTok or Instagram, any like tips or tricks that you would share that works for you?
Honestly, it changes all the time. And so I think for me, there's so many tips. There's people giving so many tips. But at the end of the day, like, it's what I can talk about easily and like have a personality still, like what comes naturally, and just experimenting with that. And it's really cool when you don't have a lot of followers because you can kind of just throw things at the wall and see what works, and then no one will remember it. So, you know, kind of throwing it at the wall, having fun, being yourself, and then being like, okay, that was doing well, let me keep doing that, is, I feel like, the way to grow rather than trying to copy other people.
And do you think some people are like, you have to post like 3-4 times a day on TikTok?
I think posting at least once a day is beneficial. I don't know about 3 times a day. Sometimes when I post 3 times a day, it gets like two views. But I do see the benefit in doing it when you're trying to grow and when you're really starting out, because you're really pushing it out there to people. But I would just say try to do it once a day. It'll pay off. Like, that will pay off, you know?
And, you know, I have to ask, your famously viral video.
Wait, there's a few.
I saw one before I knew who you were, before we connected. And I didn't, when I was like on your TikTok, I was like, oh my God, it's her.
Wait, which
the
one?
Tripping in Nobu?
Oh, yeah, that was me. And I just posted a new one that also started doing really well. What do you want to know?
I loved it. Oh my God. I was like, when I first saw it, I don't remember when I saw it like a long time ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so real. Is she going to regret this? And then you pinned that shit.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so for context, that video, I am wearing like an SLA the Label sparkly purple pantsuit. I don't regret that. Like, I had the fit down. Like, I planned that. I had braids in the front with little shells. Like, it was crazy. And I don't know what like made me take that video, but it did so well. And I was like, that is who I am. I don't drink really. Yeah. And so I was like, well, people post videos of them drinking all the time. Like, people were telling me I was going to regret posting about like chocolate mushrooms. I was like, no, I'm not going to regret it. People post about drinking all the time. It's funny. And then people thought it was like super relatable, and they were like, this is why I followed you. And every so often I post a little mushroom video and throw it in there.
No, I saw a few, and all of them are my favorite, like 100%. Well, okay, so chocolate mushrooms is like if you don't live in LA, it's like everybody does mushrooms and they don't drink. Like, it's very normal here. Yeah. You go to New York, they're going to question your sanity.
They're going to be like, why don't you have a dirty martini in your hand?
Yeah, like, what, like, why are you on mushrooms right now? Are you okay? But in LA, it is very normal. It's like brushing your teeth.
Literally.
And so the other one that I saw was you at dinner, and you're like, you're like dancing, and everyone's having a serious combo.
Oh, yeah. They were talking about healthcare. And I was like, I am on vacation. I don't need to talk about healthcare. I took a mushroom, and they were playing Whitney Houston. And so I was like, and I don't know, if you've ever taken chocolate mushrooms, there's a point where it just hits, and you're like, I gotta move my body right now. And so that's kind of what was happening. And again, I was wearing a really cool outfit. And I think it was a Christopher Esper dress, which has like the really cool swirly detail. And I put like lip gloss on my eyelids. I had like a glossy look. It's always like that. And I think it's so funny. And like, even if it got no views, I think those videos are the funniest thing ever.
Well, and you like just sprinkle them in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be that girl who does mushrooms all the time.
Yeah.
I'm that girl who does them on vacation.
Yeah. It was just, they killed me. But I was like, when I saw that first one that you pinned, I was like, no way, because I remember when this went viral. Yeah. And I like watched it and I was like, I was in between. I was like, this is so real and cool. But a lot of my clients do, like with stories, they'll be like, you know, in St. Tropez all drunk. And then I'm like, did you mean post that? And they're like, oh, it was for close friends. Like, you know, we accidentally upload things that we think are good in the moment. But you woke up and you're like, I'm riding this wave.
I was like, I'm on vacation. Yeah, and people were responding to my story as well. And they're like, you're going to regret this. And I was like, I'm on vacation with my boyfriend. It's honestly wholesome. We are literally not leaving the resort. I'm by the pool. I'm eating dinner at Nobu. It's so wholesome. Like, it's okay, guys, chill out. And then people, and I think I said on my story, like, no, this isn't on close friends. Like, I don't care kind of thing. And ever since then, I feel like people think it's fine now.
It was too funny. And then you're like saying your boyfriend couldn't come in because his arms were showing. And you're like, so, like the whole thing was amazing. Like I rewatched it like 5 times. I'm like, this is so good.
It's 2 minutes straight of no edits, nothing. I was like, I'm just posting this right now of me just talking to the camera on mushrooms. And I was redoing my hair because it was so windy and I have really long nails and it's doing that the whole time. And it's really funny.
So you guys all have to go. Well, I bet you people are like listening. They're like, I remember that video.
Yep. I love it.
But yeah, it's so cool because in a world with everyone doing the same exact content and it's polished and boring. Yeah. Like there's people like you that are real and you're actually posting like what we're all really doing.
Yeah. No, and it's really cool to hear from someone who deals with that, like deals with influencers, sees all the content. And when I feel like, oh, it's not like my stuff isn't doing well, then you're like, no, that was really cool. I'm like, okay, I think I know what I need to do more of now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what brands think per se, but I think it's very cool. Yeah. And I would follow somebody like you over just seeing the same content and over and over and over again and just getting bored. Yeah. Because, it's hard. And you're relatable too. Yeah. I just feel like people don't want to post their real life on social media. Yeah. And it's like, what do you, I know nothing about anybody. Yeah. But you give like an inside peek into your real life. Well, moving, I love that. Even, did you just move?
I'm about to move.
I sound like such a stalker, but I had to do this before the podcast.
I'm about to move, actually. Where are you moving? I'm moving to Culver City. We're finally moving out of a small apartment into a townhome, and I'm really excited. It's like a 1920s historical home, but it's preserved by Culver City, so they're not allowed to demolish it or change too many things to it. So it has some really cool character. So the content with that will be coming because I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, that is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I remember seeing a video that you were moving. Yeah. And so I feel like everyone's moving right now. All of my clients are like, hey, I'm moving, like furniture collabs, like everybody at the same time. What's going on?
I feel like May. I feel like, because I don't know. I feel like May is when a lot of people's leases are up for whatever reason. So as soon as May 1st hits, like people are going to be gone. I don't know why. It's such a thing. Every year we move around. Well, not every year, but every time I've moved. Every
year we move around.
Every time I've moved, it's been around like April, May. I don't know why. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like other people are moving too right now. It's always been a thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, everyone needs furniture collaborations and everyone's throwing everything out, starting new. Are you doing that? Are you going to do like a home, like everything must go?
I am basically keeping my mattress and my couch and all my clothes. And I'm getting rid of everything else. And I have been reaching out to so many brands. I think the day I signed the lease, I was like, I reached out to like 30 people. And at this point, I keep doing that. At this point, I'll accept anything, gifted or paid. So I'm like, trying to just, put it on the roster because I'm going to need some furniture. I think I secured Roadway. Okay,
that's good.
And I've never used a moving company before. I've always done it myself, so I'm excited to have some help.
I'm sure your boyfriend is too.
Oh my gosh, when I explained to him how Roadway moves, how they have the little racks in the box to hang up your clothes, he was like, oh, that's a game changer. And I was like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
It's so nice. Yeah. Wait, where did you move from in LA?
So we're in Brentwood, and then we're going to be moving to Culver City. And I've always been on the west side, honestly.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy because when I moved to LA, I'm like, I don't know where to move.
Yeah.
Like, where are your top, if somebody wants to move to LA, your top places that you would live and then your least favorite places?
Okay.
I feel like one of your least favorite places is where I live.
Where do you live?
Well, let's hear it first.
Okay. Okay, so my top places are like Brentwood, Santa Monica area. I'm like not a fan of Santa Monica where it's like 3rd Street Promenade. Hate it. Actually, you know what? When I was searching for apartments, I looked up every Erewhon in Los Angeles, and I got the area code for each one, and then I looked at apartments in the areas of Erewhons because they all had a walkable neighborhood, a coffee shop, an Erewhon, and a cheaper grocery store around, and I was like, wherever there's an Erewhon and a coffee shop, I want to live, and I want to walk around there, and so all the places are like Brentwood, Santa Monica. I really love like Silver Lake Atwater Village area. Pasadena's nice. That's where another Erewhon is, but it's just too far. I'm trying to think what else. I love Beverly Hills. Like, not quite Hollywood, but Beverly Hills and next to all, like 3rd Street even. That's technically Hollywood. But yeah, my worst are Hollywood. My worst is Hollywood. And I have so many friends who live over here, but like driving over here and getting out of here is so rough. And then downtown LA, I don't like it. I used to like it.
It's too far from.
It's too far.
I love concerts and sports games, and so it's like I always hate that drive.
Yeah. And like I thought I wanted to live in downtown LA because the apartments are beautiful. Lofts. 2-bedroom lofts are huge, massive, exposed brick, concrete, everything. But I just imagine walking out of that apartment at like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday and looking around and you're in downtown LA. And I was like, no, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I know.
So where do you live?
So I started in Marina Del Rey.
Okay,
hated it.
Oh, really?
Everyone knew everybody, and I felt like it was freshman year of college.
That's very true.
And in my 30s,
That's very true. You were not wrong.
Yeah, it was freshman year of college, but it was my first time, so I'm allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And then all my work meetings and everything were in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, made the most sense. So I started looking at places, and I fell in love with West Hollywood. I do feel like it has to be a certain place within West Hollywood, or else, Yeah,
it's like third Street in West Hollywood and kind of near the Grove, and then all of a sudden things get a little weird when you get closer to Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Not close to Hollywood, but you know what? My friends who were born and raised in LA, they're like, if you're bougie, like you got to be in Brentwood or like Culver City is like on the rise right now.
Oh, yeah. So, I didn't mention that. I guess my boyfriend is born and raised in Culver City, so I'm always over.
He knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he all the like major studios are over there, but that's actually a really good area. Like there is probably 100 restaurants and coffee shops within a mile of us in our new spot that we can walk to. So I forgot how good that was going to be. I'm excited for that.
I'm honestly kind of like sold.
I
feel like I've outgrown West Hollywood the past 2 years.
Yep.
I like change too.
Yeah.
I'm 100%. Like I could live in a new neighborhood like every year and a half of my life.
100%.
I get bored.
Yeah. And for me, like walkability is like huge. So that's why I've kind of stuck on like the west side and near Erewhons because it's so walkable and the neighborhoods are so beautiful. So, yeah. I'm excited to be in a home now.
I'm so excited for you. I mean, next chapter, life.
Crazy.
Yeah. I feel like the home is like, okay, now I'm like settled.
Yeah.
It's like everything leading up to a home is just like, why even try?
Oh, yeah.
Like, why did I even decorate that place?
For real. I still have popcorn ceilings in my like apartment that I'm in right now. I'm like, I need to get out of here. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
And you're a Pilates girly.
Yes.
So I love your cute Pilates content. Everyone's going to Pilates.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd probably heard with Miley Cyrus arms, so now like, can you even book a class anymore? It's like,
no, really. Also, that was crazy to me. I didn't think it was a real thing. I thought it was just like one day after what was it? The Oscars? Wait.
Something. One of the award shows.
Grammys? I don't remember.
I mix up acting and the music.
Me too. Either way, an award show. She looked amazing, but I was like, oh, wait, this is a joke. Like, it's gonna die down. No, didn't die down. It was like an actual thing. And I'm like, interesting.
All over TikTok.
I know.
So what Pilates do you do? And like, have you noticed changes in your body? Like, tell me all of the Pilates deets.
Yeah. So I actually started going to Pilates probably like 4 or 5 years, probably 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was going to
That's crazy.
Hot Pilates in West Hollywood.
Heated room?
It's literally called Hot Pilates.
Oh.
It was like the first heated Pilates class, I swear. And like Selena Gomez was in my class, Lily Collins was in my class. Like it was like one of the first heated Pilates classes I've ever seen. And so I started going there, and then I ended up, once I moved in with my boyfriend, I started going to the gym, and I kind of stopped Pilates, and then I got I found out I had an autoimmune disease. And working out just wasn't like helping my body. I was already really inflamed from an autoimmune disease. I wish I had like a before and after to show you. I didn't realize it because I've always just been my size my whole life. But when I look back, I'm like, whoa, I was so puffy. So I kind of stopped weightlifting and working out like that and got back into Pilates. And because I wasn't doing things that were like stressing my central nervous system and I was honestly relaxing a little bit more, my body changed. And now I stick to Pilates because it feels so good. I don't do solid core. It's not real Pilates. And I just stick to like classical Pilates on a reformer. And I feel like that's the best for me.
And how many times do you go?
Probably 4 times a week because I have the most expensive ClassPass membership. So I like try to schedule 4 times. If I could, I would go like 5 times, but 3 or 4, depending on how many credits I have left.
I need to start going. I do heated room, but I am like the girl in heated room who has no balance.
Me too.
Like can't touch my toes, no balance. So I'm afraid to get on the reformer.
Oh my God. You'll love it though.
Will I do you need balance?
No.
Okay, good. Because I don't have that.
You get balance from your core and like you learn that in Pilates and like you don't have to be coordinated to have that type of like balance that's coming from your core because you're strong then. But yeah, it's really, like I said, I'm the least coordinated person out there. But when I get on a reformer, I feel like I've been in ballet for like 10 years. I'm like ready. I'm like pointing my toes as hard as I can. The whole thing. It's so fun.
Like, who is she?
Who is she? But if I do like a solid core class, then I'm falling all over the place. Because I think that's called the Gree. I could be wrong, but that's something else. And you never get to lay on your back in solid core classes. Like, there's never like downtime, and that's what I love about classic Pilates on the reformer is like you're on your back, you're like doing things with your legs. Like it's chill, but it's hard.
Yeah, I have done Pilates, but not like standing on the reformer. I haven't got to that level yet. But yeah, whenever I'm laying on my back doing the legs, I'm just like thinking, it's like almost like meditating.
It's so fun.
I'm thinking about like my life, what I have to do.
Yeah. No, I love
planning things.
I love it. It's changed my life. I'm like so bored at the gym. I love reformer Pilates, and I don't care if Miley Cyrus does it. I was always my thing.
You pioneered Pilates 5 years ago.
Actually, what's his name? I'm Pilates Smith. I'm Smith Pilates, whatever his name is. And I invented it.
You're the heir.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you actually did start like before it was a thing, though.
Yeah, and I get Nico, my boyfriend, to do it too. He loves it.
Really?
Yeah, he loves he likes to go to the gym, but he loves like the reset day kind of like feeling like he's stretching and lengthening his body a little bit, because gym guys get really tight and like, you know what I mean? You're like, Loki, are you strong, or are you just like lifting? Do you just know how to lift a weight? You know?
My boyfriend does like sports massages too.
Oh, God.
Because I don't know what happens in the gym, but their body just goes through things. I don't know. I'm like, I've never been like I have not gone through what his body goes through. I'm like, I don't understand. Why are you so sore? You're 28.
Yeah. Are you training for the Olympics? Like, I'm a little confused. Yeah.
He loves the gym, and I don't know what to do in there. And you know what's trending on TikTok is like everyone's finally coming forward, women, and they're like, by the way, strength training does make you bulky. Yeah. And I'm like, finally someone said it, because it's true.
It needs to be said. If you also like, listen, if you're like one of those girls that's always gonna be stick thin, maybe not. Maybe you won't get bulky. But like, if you are trying in the gym, you're gonna get muscles, like, because you're trying hard. So I'm like, I stick to light weights at the gym. I'm like basically doing Pilates at the gym when I go there.
Yeah. I was like, those strong glutes. I want the opposite.
Yeah. You're like, I want my ass to look like that, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I want a big butt but little thighs. Yeah. So whatever workout, I know that's not strength training because you get big butt and big thighs. So I'm like, I need to stay away from those machines.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The Pilates to like doing glutes at the gym pipeline is so good, because you work out your whole body in Pilates, and then you go to the gym, and if you don't really want to do arms and you don't want to do like heavy legs, you do some form of like strength training for your legs and glutes. And since you're not doing it all the time, you're never going to get like super bulky, but you're like building the strength. So when you go back to Pilates, you're so strong. And I swear to God, I have not lost any muscle in my legs or my butt from stopping going to the gym and just doing like one strength training day.
Yeah, I feel like just like a nice mix. Yeah. And then like cardio and oh my gosh, it's so we're so LA. I feel like people are like listening. They're like, "Do you guys have a life?" Like, working out and content creation.
Like everyone, so original of me.
Wait, I actually wanted to ask you, because I know you're getting into modeling, and I don't know if it's again, but do they? I know, I guess past life models. Yeah. They don't model anymore. Do you have to have like a certain body type for modeling now, or like what are like the rules and regulations?
Yeah. I'm lucky because I signed with an agent that had a modeling agency, but she signed me as an influencer, and so that's all I did. And then I ended up leaving that agency, but I was like, listen, I would love to be on the modeling side, because I did get a few jobs over the years. Just from doing influencer things, they wanted me to model, and I was like, I really loved that, so I wouldn't want to let it go. And so I think there are like some requirements still, just honestly due to sample size and how certain clothes do look on people. But I think it is a lot more inclusive now. There's so many, like, there's curvy girls signed to my modeling agency. There's so many people from all around the world signed to my agency. For me, I feel like I'm not like the tallest, I'm not the thinnest, I'm not like the weirdest pretty cool model out there, but I think now it's switching because of influencers, and I know brands are looking for models that have already established a personality. So when you do see those people modeling in a campaign, their audience already feels really connected and wants to buy stuff. So I think it is switching for sure.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny because I don't have like anybody who's like a current model. Everyone's like, I used to model, now I do content.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, I actually have a current model right now. I want to know like the lay of the land.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't work as much modeling, just to be honest. And there's other girls who like at the end of the day, like your modeling jobs are going to be like, if you're really tall, it's going to be high fashion. I'm not really tall, so I'm not getting high fashion. And then there's like e-com, and e-com is like so boring. It's front, back, side, and you're modeling clothes. And to be honest, like I don't have that experience. I'm not good at doing that really completely for 8 hours in the day. God, front, back, side, 200 different outfits. And there's girls that like, they're just so good at it. Every photo looks amazing. You don't have to take very many shots and they run through it so fast. And so I did it backwards. And for me, it's more so like just aligning with the brand and the campaign, and them just wanting me for me rather than being like, oh, are you 5'9"? Are you a 00? Okay, cool. You know?
Yeah, so, like not being like in a bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what you would like your face, like beauty, skincare. That's
what I want to like do more of.
Like you have a good model face.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
I'm full of compliments today.
I love it. Keep them coming. That's what I want to do. And that's what we're trying to build my book for. So hopefully that'll happen. That's like the dream. At the end of the day, like those girls that can do front, back, side all day for 8 hours, not for me. But if I can sit down and take a headshot, oh, that's amazing. I would love that. Oh my gosh. And I'm like a true makeup girly, like who just watched YouTube from a young age, watching people do makeup all the time. So it would be really cool to like model for like those big beauty brands and Sephora and all those things, just because I'm such a personal fan of makeup in general.
Oh my God, I just like had a vision. We have to manifest your face in Sephora.
I would love that.
I feel like that's so doable.
It would be
how
so cool
though. That would be so cool.
It would be so cool, or like some sort of hair campaign or something like that.
Yeah.
We're trying to build my book. So manifesting 2024, it's going to happen.
Your face in Sephora. We don't want an Ulta. Like Sephora or nothing.
Exactly. Sephora, let's throw up a billboard while you're at it. Cool.
I mean, it's so doable. I was driving in Hollywood or West Hollywood. I don't remember where I was. And I saw one of my clients on a billboard. He was like in underwear. I was like, I love it. Is that Fabian?
I love that.
Fabian's butt.
I would honestly kill for anything on a billboard. So
that is the goal.
But let's talk about how West Hollywood is literally a disaster, because there are so many billboards, and I swear to God, I am going to crash my car every time because I'm looking at how many billboards. Like, they're really good billboards everywhere, and I'm distracted.
You know how I find new shows?
West Hollywood, driving down Sunset Boulevard. That's how I find them.
Like I find, and then I'll text my boyfriend. I'm like, new movie. I'm like taking a photo,
we gotta watch
like driving by. I'm like, new movie. Like it works. Great marketing, honestly.
It works. They're huge on Sunset. I've never seen bigger billboards in my life.
I know.
Than on Sunset.
I love it. It's like old school traditional like marketing, but I fall for it.
I fall for it. I like it. I like it a lot.
And so speaking about like beauty, how I found you, came across you, how I scouted you, with your under eye treatment. Mm-hmm. So what was it called again?
It was called
Easy Gel?
Yeah, Easy Gel.
Great memory.
Yeah. So Easy Gel is like similar to PRP, but they take your blood, they spin it, get the PRP, but then they manipulate it into a really thick, like filler-like substance, and then they can inject it under your eyes. So it's not under eye filler, but it's still giving a little bit of volume. You might need 2 to 3 treatments, and it's more natural. Yeah.
Okay, I love this. I've done PRP.
Yeah, under your eyes?
I don't see a difference. Like,
okay.
My number one of aging is the under eyes. I'm like, and I sleep on my face.
Me too.
So, and then I have this line, and I Googled it, and it's called a sleep wrinkle. And I'm like, going to my girl, I'm like, what do we do? And she's like,
nothing.
Yeah, she literally won't do anything.
Yeah.
And so I saw you did that, and I was like, okay, PRP isn't working, so maybe this gel
Yeah, so I've done like 6 treatments of PRP under my eyes.
Did you notice a difference?
I noticed a difference when I kept doing it, but that is like a very expensive alternative. You might just want to get filler then. But Easy Gel, I did notice a difference. I'm actually planning on going in and taking my 1 month before and after and seeing if I need a second treatment. So I'm excited to see that. I think it really did help, but I didn't realize how bad my under eyes were until they were like, Jade, you need Easy Gel. And we're going to do it today, actually. And I was like, oh, okay. But I liked it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Like
everything else is fine. It's just, I don't know what is going on under my, like, I think it's because of sleeping on my face. So it's just like taking the collagen, or I
don't know, but I do think you should try it. I did like it, especially, like, I don't know if I've gotten used to it now. I really do need to see my, like, before and after, but especially, like, the 2 weeks after, I was like, whoa, I look good.
I can see your cheek.
It's not like a hollow.
Yeah, it's not.
Ooh,
like, it looks like nice and plump and like normal.
Yeah, normal, and I like it.
It's a weird word. Natural
you look normal.
Is what I was trying to say.
I like it though, because it's like, I've heard so many horror stories of under eye filler.
That I know. That is like why I'm afraid to do anything. So
exactly.
I'm buying all of the under eye creams and I'm like, this is not working. Like, I don't like, you can buy the most expensive one, not working.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're going to age, but I liked it. I did like it. So, yeah.
And are there any other like beauty treatments, like tried and true, that you love and highly recommend?
Yeah, I actually just got asked this recently, and there's like all this skincare out there in the world. I cannot be that girl to recommend products to you, but I can say that spending the money on like microneedling and things like that is 1,000% worth it. And for me, I've just never been that person that my skin has changed from products. And I've been like, oh, this is a holy grail. No, the holy grail was Morpheus 8 and microneedling for me, and lasers. And my skin needed that. So those are the things that I would like recommend.
That is exactly what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And your skin is amazing.
And everyone's like, are you afraid that Morpheus 8 will take the fat or the collagen? That's like a rumor.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess I just go in like without researching. I actually don't research anything when I do it. If someone recommends something, I'm like booking an appointment. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I found out is that Morpheus 8 will take away the fat, but the settings for face are not that high to take away the fat. Because there's different settings, like when people do Morpheus 8 on their body, the settings are super, super high, and they do it a different way, so it takes away the fat. But I have heard that if you do too many Morpheuses, that it will eventually, take away some fat. But I think that doing it a few times is definitely not going to do that, and it's definitely not going to change your face in a way that you're looking, I don't know, underweight, like you're like you look too skinny or you lost some volume. Yeah.
That makes sense. So yeah, I feel like if you're just like going and doing it too much,
yeah.
It's like,
but I will say I've seen people who have gone, I don't know who they're going to, but they have gotten Morpheus 8, and those like you get like the puncture holes. They've had like scarring, like puncture holes. I don't know who they went to.
Going too hard.
Too hard, or like maybe that because they're like a darker skin tone, they had too high of like a heat or something like that. But they've like truly messed up their face, and people love to be like, Morpheus 8 is the worst thing ever, and I'm like, no, you definitely just have to do your research on who you're going to.
Yeah.
So
I have a woman, and she's very like light-handed.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We love it. Because literally it'll save you. It'll save you. And also if you're trying to do anything crazy, like if you're like, I want more lip filler, and someone's like literally going to tell you like, no, she's actually saving your life. So you don't look like an idiot.
Oh, yeah. They don't take your money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We love people.
The best practitioners or whatever is when they're like, you don't need that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're
and
a
they
real
humble
person.
you. And they humble you for sure. They're like, that would look bad on you. And you're like, oh, okay. Thank you so much.
I know. I feel like it's social media too. It's just like, you see all of these people. Oh, that's why I like social media now, is because a lot, like, there's no filters.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is, like, looking how they normally look.
Yeah.
And they're just jumping on without makeup, and it's like everyone's starting to look normal again.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say there are trends in like plastic surgery and fillers and things where I feel like if you like accidentally go down the rabbit hole of like the baddies of TikTok, you're going to be like, wow, okay, I need a Barbie doll nose job. I need an eyebrow lift. And you're like, okay, we can chill. We don't need to see those people anymore, because that is so trendy right now.
Oh my gosh, I know. I mean, it really is.
It's so trendy.
And then, some people I do see and I'm like, oh my God, they look so good. And I'm like, what are they?
Yeah.
And they're doing like a beauty routine and everyone's commenting like, it's not the beauty, like, you're just naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
So you can't achieve this.
I know. Yeah. You're like, that's not achievable, but thank you super so much.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off right now because I have to build my self-confidence back.
Yeah. And like, speaking of that, quickly, do you have like any sort of like comparison game when you're posting as a creator? On the creator side? Yeah,
I think it happens all the time. Like, everything comes in waves. Views come in waves. Everything, like brand deals, everything comes in waves. So like moments of weakness, for sure. It's really easy to just see someone's content and be like, that did so well for them. Like, what is going on? And yeah, you definitely try to sometimes create what other people are creating, but that never does well either. So for me, it's always just been like trying to separate, like, okay, I'm just scrolling for fun. Like, I don't need to like clock it in my brain as to why that did well for someone else, because it's not me. You know, that's just how it is.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has that like sort of comparison game too, and you have to then kind of like rewind it back and be like, wait, everyone's so unique, and like I have something that they don't have, you know?
Yeah, and like and if there's someone you really love, I realize like really love and they're doing the type of content that you want to do, like honestly figure out why it's doing well for them, but based off of their personality, and then how can you film the things like them that you want to talk about in your way. Like, clearly it's doing well for someone, so figure out a way that is like more authentic to you, and you can both have the same type of content. Like, there's room for everyone, but you know, try to see how it would work for you. And I feel like those people are really great to have for inspiration. Yeah.
The comparison game, social media, it'll always be a thing.
It's like, rough.
Yeah. I'm like, there's a lot of people that don't talk about like the mental health part of being like a creator too.
Yeah, 100%.
And like negative comments, and like people just don't realize, they're like, oh, influencers live the best life ever, and they have so much money and they get free stuff, and it's like, no, there's like a lot of mental health issues that like come along with it, and putting yourself out there.
Yeah, 100%.
And then seeing other creators doing well, and then everyone has a following on TikTok now, so it's like to keep up.
No, the pressure to keep up, the pressure to have views, it's rough. I just think sometimes we all need to go outside and touch some grass.
Some nature.
Some nature for sure. I feel like the second I stepped away from like taking it so seriously and being like I take it seriously. It's my job. Like, I do what I need to do, but just like step away and know I have like a real life and like things that make me happy, and like going on walks and being outside, you're like, this is great. Because you can come back to the screen and feel either more inspired or kind of have more clarity on what you want to post and what you want to talk about, rather than sitting and doom scrolling in your free time. Because I feel like that just like jumbles up your ideas and where you want to be, because you have so much information.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Or even workouts. I feel like I could like take over the world in a workout. I have so many amazing ideas in SoulCycle. I'm like just podcast ideas. I'm like, whoa, how did like that even come to the surface? That was great. Yeah,
ideas are not going to come from doom scrolling. Ideas are going to come from life. Yeah. Which is what makes people really interesting when they come to the screen, and that's why you like people.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're not trying to be everyone else.
So, as we wrap up, I was going to say off and up, I as I was like going through your content, realized you've been with your boyfriend for 7 years. Another post that I actually came across before was your reading date. And I was going to send that to my boyfriend because we're both readers, different kind of readers. But, or I guess different type, like nonfiction, fiction. And I was like, that's so dang cute. Oh my God. So I did recognize that. And you had said that you've been together for 7 years.
We have been, it's almost 7 years. Technically not yet, but pretty much there. We met like shortly after I moved to LA.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy.
There's this trend on TikTok. I sound so young because I bring everything back to TikTok, but it's my job. But there's a trend right now that I freaking love, and maybe you've seen it. But it's like you and your boyfriend, and it's like everyone asks how we're like so happy, and it goes back to like blurred out text messages and blocking each other, and it goes we weren't like we had to go through like the hard phase to get here. And I was like, oh, I had chills.
I haven't
like,
seen
that's
that.
so real. Oh yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh my God, I need to go watch that.
I have chills because it's so real. You and like your partner go through phases. Yeah. In the beginning of my relationship, we had this like boundaries phase. Okay. Where, you know, like I'm like, okay, these are my boundaries. Yeah. He had boundaries because you're getting to know each other. Yeah, 100%. And I do feel like it's important to like share those boundaries and not keep them. And sometimes that could lead to like paragraphs and calls and not seeing eye to eye. So with that said, like there's a lot of like ups and downs in a relationship. You have 7 years of it. Yeah. And I feel like on social media, I love the Jade and Nico content. It's the cutest freaking thing. Oh my gosh. But I know that it's not always like rainbows and sunshine. I don't even know if that's a saying, but rainbows, you know what I mean.
Sunshine,
rainbows,
flowers.
I'm like, I know it's not always positive. So I wanted to pick your brain on like navigating like 7 years and just being real with you and like how you made it 7 years and more to come. Yeah.
Honestly, you know what's so funny? I was so young when I met Nico. He's also 5.5 years older than me. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I definitely didn't set boundaries. I definitely didn't do any of that. But I had, like, one really shitty relationship right before Nico. And I know I was young, but it still was, like, so shitty. And so Nico was the exact opposite. And, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Everyone in Nico's life loves Nico. People gravitate towards him. He is so genuine and so authentic, and I don't know, I've never met anyone like him, and I think he's never strayed away from that, and he's always just been like willing to work through things. And I think that like age gap is really good for us. And for me, learning a relationship at such a young age with someone who's so kind like that, I think we've always been able to go through like harder times and just talk and communicate and just like have the grace for each other. And I feel like a lot of people have all these standards for people, like men and women. You have to make this much money. You have to act like this. You have to talk like this. You have to do all these things. And I feel like we kind of just throw that out the window and just have a lot of grace for each other. And we've always been able to like work through things and just be like really good friends at the end of the day if it's not feeling so romantic and we're going through something kind of hard. I don't know.
That you guys have really good communication.
Yeah, really good communication. And even if it's like a fight and we're not communicating well, I think we're always able to come back and just like, I'm sorry, this is how I'm feeling. And like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know how to like help friends, because sometimes I really just do feel like he is my person, and I would do anything to like work it out. But I will say that also we look back at hard times and I'm like, that was so silly. Remember when we were living in a shitty apartment and we were making no money or whatever it was? It's just like a silly little thing, and it's character building, and it's really cool to look back on that too.
Yeah. And are you guys prideful, or do you guys are you more like understanding?
Like when we're in fights, like, we have so much ego and so much pride. Sometimes we do butt heads. Like sometimes Yeah, we honestly, because we both know, like, we're the shit. Like, at the end of the day, like that's why we want to be together. I think Nico's the shit, and he thinks I'm the shit, and that's why we want to be together. But when we butt heads, we're like, I'm not wrong. Like, what are you talking about? But I think we're really good at just, like, giving each other our, like, the space for a second and being like, okay, let's take a step back here and then come back and talk about it. Usually we're a little bit more level-headed. But, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always so, even though like maybe you are wrong and overreacting, and you kind of just keep going at it more, and you're like, I don't know. But you both are. My boyfriend and I are both Tauruses.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's, I don't even know.
You're like, you guys are like so strong-headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of insane.
So I'm a Libra and Nico's a Pisces. Mm-hmm. And so he's like very emotional and like just sappy and things like that. Or when he's mad, he's very emotional and he's like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm like, you're being so dramatic right now. But, you know, we work around it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 years is just crazy.
It is crazy.
You've grown.
Yeah.
So you guys are like getting to know new versions of each other.
Yeah, we are. And I actually always say that to him. We are not the same people that we were when we met each other. And I don't even know if I would date Nico 6 years ago at this point. I don't know if he would date me either. And I was actually just on my way here thinking...
Like the new Nico?
No, like the old Nico. I don't know if I would... I love new Nico. I love new Nico. So, yeah, that's crazy. But I was actually just thinking about a time where... I don't know if we were, like, quite a year into our relationship. And we were, like, butting heads and, like, kind of, like, bickering a lot. We hadn't...
The phase.
Yeah, we weren't, like... living together yet, but we were like kind of serious, and I was like, I kind of hate you, and I don't know what made us stick together, but we got over that, whatever that was, and we're so different, and we're like so happy with each other. But yeah, there was like a weird phase where we were like, I don't know about you, and then we moved in, and then it was good,
and it helped everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the phase I'm talking about on the trend where it's like I think every couple goes through that phase. But I'm very so it sounds like you guys are soulmates, and I think it's divine protected.
Yeah.
So nothing could ruin the relationship. So you go through those phases, but it's protected by the universe because you guys are meant to be together forever. So
I really do feel like that. There's been nothing that I've ever been like red flag, other than just being like a gross guy, you know, like. Okay, like sometimes I get the ick from whatever you're doing, but like no red flags. Nothing has ever been too hard for us to like go like look past, you know. And even like recently Nico lost his job and he hasn't been able to work, and he just got a new job, but it doesn't make a lot of money, and he wants to find a different job. You know, we're like in an in-between. I just signed with a new agent. Like we're moving. So many things are like in between, but nothing ever feels too hard with us. Like I'm never concerned. I'm like, okay, just we'll get to the next step.
Just the journey.
Yeah.
I realized that too. It's like everybody has it, but it's nice to go through it together. And you never want your partner to feel like, you know, just because they're not at the very top that they want to be, either side. It's like you want a partner who's like, I got you for now because I know you'll eventually get me.
100%.
You know?
Or you can always see your part. Like, I could never imagine a world where Nico isn't successful, so I'm not really worried about whatever's happening right now. You know, like, I always see success for him, so I'm like, it'll all happen eventually, like, whatever. Because he got laid off. He was at, like, a really good job before, and he got laid off, and I'm like, I could not see anything bad happening in your future. Like, I know you're going to be successful.
Well, sometimes that's the best thing to happen.
Yeah.
It's like losing a job will bring you to like where you need to go to be more successful.
100%.
In the moment, it's the worst thing ever, and the universe is testing you on all levels.
Yep.
But it's bringing you to like more money and success,
sure.
and maybe even like a different route. Who knows?
Yeah.
So.
I also feel like I talk to my girlfriends and they have all these requirements for guys, and I'm like, listen, I'm not out here to like support men. I'm all for the girls, but like sometimes your requirements are it's too long of a list. It's too long of a list because Nico and I met And we were broke. We didn't know what we want to do. And all my friends want to date like a rich man, and they want to have someone who has a company or like sold a company and has a bunch of whatever. And
that
I'm
is
like,
a very specific requirement she has.
Crazy. But so many people, but like so many girls do, like low key, they just want like someone rich who started something, can sell companies, can like whatever. And I'm like, and then looks requirements, height requirements, like you're doing certain vacation, and I'm like, whoa. Nico and I literally met when we had absolutely nothing. We didn't know what we wanted, and we've grown and we've gotten successful, and like you gotta like let up to find the one. You really do. They're not gonna be perfect, unfortunately.
Well, and it's like I'd rather have a real authentic love than something that just checks the boxes.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not saying like lower your standards. I'm just saying sometimes they don't have them all right then and there.
Yeah. Or be like open-minded too.
Yeah, because I have no doubt we're gonna have it all eventually, but it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah. Well, you guys, it's journey.
Yeah.
I think like that's the most fun thing. You know what I mean? Is like just like the journey of everything. Like I have like a pretty stable job. My boyfriend is an actor, which is like up,
not
you know,
stable.
up in the air where it's like, we're very different. So I have like, I love you and I'm here for the journey. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if you ever have a low, I'll take care of us. And if I ever have a low, you take care of us, because that's 100%. What love is. You don't look for someone because of checking boxes or money. It's like, but also those people have not found a soulmate. Like when you find your soulmate.
Nothing phases you.
That shit is so cool.
Yeah.
Like you have, there's no feeling like it, and you know.
Yeah. I just know, and I feel like I've never known with other people, and I've also hated pretty much everyone I dated. So.
Yeah, like I'm like, I never knew soulmates existed. Yeah. Like I had so many relationships, and I'm like, well, like I don't even know, like maybe they checked boxes or maybe they were toxic. Yeah. But then we met, and I was like, oh my God, this is so creepy. And we see the same angel numbers, and we have all of these like universal connections outside of our relationship.
How long have you guys been together?
So since October. We met on Instagram, and he was living in Australia, and I was living here.
Very quickly.
And then he came here, and then to like see it through, stayed with me, and then we just started like dating. Yeah. But it was total accident. Yeah. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Yeah. But the coolest story.
Oh my gosh, that is really cool.
Instagram love.
Wow, so fresh.
I tell my girls, I'm like, delete the dating apps. Just go up, DM, slide into somebody's DM.
Seriously, guys like it when you're bold. Okay.
It's so true.
They like it when you're bold.
He sent me like he saw like a TikTok like statistics of like women sliding into DMs are most like, it was like 89% likely to marry that man or whatever if they go on dates and stuff.
Literally 2024.
I was like, so we're getting married, yeah.
Yeah. 2024 is for women having BDE, okay? Like, you have to have BDE.
I love it. That's why I tell my friends a lot of time. They're like, should I wait for him to text me? I'm like, no. I literally will make dates. Like, I don't need somebody to, like, I don't have time for it. Like, if I like someone, I'm going to tell them, and we'll go and have fun.
Yeah. Also, do you trust a man's opinion? Like, to plan a date? No, I'm going to plan the date way better than him.
Like, literally every time. Oh, my God. Yeah, and he's going to bring you to, like, the worst, like, Venice place that everyone else is going to.
I went to Venice for my first date with Nico.
Sorry, Nico.
We hate Venice over here, okay? I hate it. It is such, like, college town almost.
Nico probably thought you'd like it at the time. You were new to the area.
Yeah.
We'll give him some slack.
I'll give him that. It was like, I think we even went to a vegan restaurant, too. It was just so LA.
Yeah, that is very LA.
But hey,
I love it. Yeah. But I know people probably don't, maybe they do ask you about your relationship. Yeah. But I was just like 7 years. I just want to like ask her like the secret and all of. Yeah. I just find it, maybe I'm getting old, but I'm like, tell me everything.
No, yeah. I get that question a lot. And it's always so hard to answer because, like you said, I kind of just have always felt like nothing is, like, going to get in our way. And over the course of the last few years that I've been here, like, friends have dated really shitty people. And Nico was always so willing to, like, help out, and he treats my friends like he's almost in a relationship with them and helping them out, and like just all the things. And so I don't know, it's been good signs all around, green flags.
Well, I love it. Thank you for the advice. And I just love seeing the content too. I think like you guys coming together is the best. Some more amazing content. But we have to wrap up here. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a fun. I feel like we like hit literally all angles. Everything. I love it.
Literally everything.
We're both at our neutrals. Like it's actually kind of.
It wasn't planned, which is actually crazy.
Like we were matching. Oh, we even have like one shot.
I know. I was like, okay.
All right. Well, until next time. Bye, y'all.